Nikki, great job in this. And
Thank you.
how much of a skateboarder chick are you? Were you?
I think before we even started shooting, I think I was very much like Kathy Alba in that I grew up in Venice. And my brother was a skater, and I kind of grew up in this world, which is really funny because a lot of people wouldn't see me as that, but this is very much me, laid back, and, actually my hair in this film, the hair people didn't even touch it, that's just how I have my hair, and it just felt very, homey.
So what was it like being on set with all these guys? The testosterone must have been this high.
Fun? No, not this high, sky high. It was great. It was great. I loved it. I loved being the only female on set every day, and so much energy, and the guys are, they're everywhere, and there's so many of them, and for every one actor there's 5 doubles, and so there's 20 Tony Albas and Stacey Peraltas and Jay Adams. And one of me, so
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, how do you hold your own against these dudes?
Oh, God, you just give up and just put your hands up and say, I'm never going to be right with them. Boys, that's how you got to do it, right?
Absolutely.
It took me a while to learn.
What impressed you most about the 3 guys once you saw them really at work?
I'm so proud of all 3 of them. They're such wonderful young men, and stepping into a situation like this would be terrifying for me, and they did such a great job. I don't even know what else to say. Some of them, one of the 3 guys had never even stepped on a skateboard, and the other 2 were slightly familiar, but not enough so to play legendary skateboarders, and so it was, a task that I don't know if anyone knew that they could achieve going into it, and they did.
Yeah.
Wonderfully.
The movie rocks. I mean, it's just so amazing. Really.
And to capture not only that, but they all came from different parts of this country with different attitudes and different vibes, and to put all that aside and play, someone who's very well known. It was like, I was watching an interview with Kate Blanchett when she was, obviously in The Aviator. Someone who's so well known, and to be portraying that it's scary.
Yeah,
and they did a great job.
Yeah, really, and so did you. Really good job.
Thank you.
Now, Catherine, I mean, you go way back with Catherine. You guys are, what can I say?
2 peas in a pod.
I'd say. Why was she the perfect woman to direct this movie?
I think that it required a certain amount of energy, and her and Elliot Davis, the cinematographer, are such a great team. And I think that the style, you watch 13, and a lot of people compare it to a documentary, and this film is following a documentary. And I think a lot of people just knew that she was the woman for the job. She grew up in, well, she didn't grow up in Venice, but she's lived in Venice for how many years now, and she has that sort of vibe too. And she nailed it. She nailed it.
And she almost killed herself.
And she almost, right. Yeah, that was a bad word to use. Nailed it, yeah.
Wow. I mean, that must have been a little frightening seeing her in that pool.
It's not even the word. That's an understatement.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
well,
she's directing a scene and fell back and hit her face in the pool and knocked out, and everyone kind of just froze. And we're like, okay, this is the last 2 days of shooting, and something like this had to happen. We were so thankful. I guess we had spoke too soon. We were so thankful that nothing had happened to any of them. And, the 3 boys, they walked out alive. A few scrapes and bruises, but they were fine.
Well,
but the dog bowl ate everyone up, the 2 doubles. Yeah, Victor's double and I believe Emil's double. Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Collarbone broken, and one of the guys who was a professional skater, his name was Griffin. I don't feel like these guys get enough credit. Griffin broke his leg and still can't skate, and this was his life before Dogtown.
Wow.
And he still can't, so I think that these guys deserve a lot more credit than they're getting, the doubles.
I wanted to say, 13 was one of the most outstanding films I've seen.
Thank you.
It really was. I was so sorry that you didn't come to Toronto with Catherine to talk about them, because it was just so awesome. And
Thank you so much.
To provide what you did in that film, hats off to you. How has life changed for you since that came out?
I've grown up. I've learned a little bit more about this business. It's so funny that you mentioned that I didn't get to go to Toronto. I was a baby. I was, 14 years old, and they were telling me to travel around the United States, if not the world, to promote a film, and I didn't even know how to do that. And it was so overwhelming for me, and of course a wonderful experience. It's opened so many doors for me, but my life is different now. I live by myself. I work by myself, and I'm much more of an adult than I was then. And so, I have a completely different life, completely different.
Many thanks to Catherine.
Many thanks to Catherine, forever.
Yeah. Well, you're awesome, and I can't wait to see you. Got so much stuff coming up.
Thank you
It's great.
so
I hope we'll see you at the
much.
Toronto Film Festival soon.
You will.
Yeah.
I will be there.
You will?
I can't tell you for what, but I will.